Alrighty, so I took a lot of the criticism and feedback from last year's rankings. So this year, in an effort to make it as accurate as possible, I have made it so that I'm only doing a top 10. And I made sure that almost every single movie that was logged on the spreadsheet this year had as many reviews as possible. So this year, our top 10 is really, really accurate rating wise. It's a mixture of some popular ones versus some not as popular ones. Like, there's some very obvious movies that are in the top 10, and there's some very outside of the box picks. So, with that being said, I hope we can enjoy this year's rankings. So, let's start with number 10, The Long Walk. Now, this was a really well-made movie that everyone who saw it, the 7 out of 9, gave really high ratings. As you can see, it has a 4.57 average, but 2 people didn't watch it because they're lame. But it was really well done. It was really gut-wrenching, emotional story that, according to my friend, was really well adapted from the book, who has read it multiple times. He loved it, and so great film to start off our top 10. Now, in number 9, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. This is a very outside of the box pick. Not many people even realize that this movie actually came out. As you can see, another 7 out of 9 with a 4.64 average, 3.61 final score. Again, because the 2 people who didn't see it are lame losers. But as you can see, already a mix of some very super popular movies and some very niche movies. Actually, the first 2 have been very niche, but as we continue down the list, you'll see that there are some very obvious picks. But yeah, this was a great little animated feature. I think it's the only animated feature in the top 10, and I think it earned it. It was a very well done Looney Tunes movie, and it makes me even more excited for Coyote v. Acme later this year, in 2026, that is. And now, at number 8, we have Friendship, yet another outside-of-the-box pick. But as you can see, it has a similar score to Looney Tunes, 0.06 better. But it has a slightly lower average because it does have an 8 out of 9. And one person who saw it didn't like it at all, but everyone else really enjoyed this movie. I thought that this movie was actually really good. It hit a little too close to home in certain aspects, and it just made me really contemplate a lot, and I just really enjoyed it. It was really, really funny, and the subway scene still gets me to this day. It's just so well done. But yeah, that's all on Friendship. Yet another very niche movie, but everyone saw it. So, like, it's not like it just got it up here for nothing. 8 out of 9 ratings is impressive. Next up, The Naked Gun. This reboot was the funniest movie I've seen all year. I loved it. Everyone loved it. We all had an absolute blast. As you can see, 7 out of 9, 3.72 score, 4.79 average. That's how much everyone who saw this movie absolutely laughed out loud. This had one of the best 5-star averages amongst people who've seen it. There's only 2 movies that had better, and you'll see them later. But yeah, this was just a phenomenal film. I loved what they did with this one. Akiva Schaffer really outdid himself. Liam Neeson was great in this role, and it was truly a phenomenal sight to behold. The Naked Gun at number 7. At number 6, we have Rian Johnson's Wake Up Dead Man, a movie that should have had an 8 out of 9, but one of the ratings did not come in, and so I had to leave it at a 7 out of 9. 4.86 average, 3.78 final score. This could very well be the best Knives Out movie. I just really liked its overarching narrative, even though I do believe that the side characters in this one are probably the weakest in terms of actual value to the story, unlike the first 2. But it does just deliver a really compelling and good mystery narrative that it makes up for those shortcomings on the other front. a really solid Knives Out movie and just a really solid murder mystery. It is my personal favorite of the year. But we've got to move on with number 5 as we have now entered the top 5. We've got Mickey 17, 8 out of 9 seen, a 4.3 average amongst those who have seen it, but a 3.89 score. Again, this one should have had a 9 out of 9, I believe, but again, another rating didn't come in time. This was a really fun little movie that did get forgotten about because this was the first of the Warner Bros. Releases of the year, and all the other ones went on to do big box office numbers, and this one kind of got left by the wayside, but it was still a really well-made movie. It is from Bong Joon-ho. It is just really well done. Robert Pattinson was phenomenal in this movie. He was the best part because he was playing a dual role, which is a common theme with this year's top 5. As you can see, that you already know that there's another movie in this top 5 that also has an actor doing a dual role. But this was a really just great little movie that felt appropriate for the time that it was being released in. So that's number 5. At number 4, we've got Novocaine, an 8 out of 9, which should have been a 9 out of 9, but as you can see, 3.94 score there and a 4.44 average. Really well enjoyed by everyone who saw it. It is just a fun little action movie. Jack Quaid is, again, great in this role, and he's just a great actor. I'm very excited to see what he does moving forward, especially now that The Boys is ending. So it should be cool to see him start doing more and more movies because he is... I enjoy seeing him in these types of film. So, yeah. Now we've got our top 3, which all have 9 out of 9 scenes, so their average is their score. So, are we ready? Number 3 is Superman. Really well loved by everyone who saw it. It has a really good average. No one had really anything too bad to say about Superman. It is my personal favorite Superman movie. I think it is the best one just because it's the only Superman movie I wish I saw more of. As you can see, a 4.78 average. Really, really good for the spreadsheet, but it is not better than the other 2 who beat it. And now you're like thinking, what could possibly be number 1 and number 2? You might be aware... As this, I just realized the top 3 is very Warner Bros. Heavy. That should give you a hint, because at number 2, we have Weapons. This was one of my most anticipated of the year, and I loved every single second of it. I thought it was great. I went in there knowing nothing, and I loved it. It was great not going into this movie blind, and that's how I'm gonna keep leaving at it. All I knew about the movie going into it was what was on the poster, and that's all you guys are getting to. 9 out of 9, a 4.83 average, which is, again, really good average. And it's only topped by one, which had the best rating, obviously. And almost a near perfect across the board. And what movie would that be if not for, I think what everyone is guessing... Sinners. A 4.94 average. Only one rating on the spreadsheet did not give it a 5 and gave it a 4.5, but it was so close to a perfect rating across 9 people, by the way. 9 people. This movie is phenomenal, and the more I think about it, the more I enjoy it. It is just very well done. It is beautiful. It is gorgeous. The story is really interesting. It's very compelling, and Michael B. Jordan does a phenomenal job in the role. It is just a phenomenal movie that I think would be getting more awards buzz had it been released a little later in the year, because I don't think I'm seeing this movie get the flowers that it deserves in certain categories. But it is just a phenomenal feature that truly does deserve the title of Best of the Year on the spreadsheet. So, there we go. I know it's only a top 10 this year, but this year I also just, in trying to make sure that everyone, as many people as possible, saw each movie on the spreadsheet, it was the number was way less than last year, but the averages of people seen was way higher, even though I included an extra person. So I decided to stick only with top 10 this year, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you agreed with the consensus of the spreadsheet, but I think there's not too much fault. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and that's pretty much it for this week. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below your thoughts and opinions on the final top 10. Subscribe if you haven't already, and other than that, I'll leave you guys to it. Till next time. Bye.